Hi there, I'm Sandy Allnock. I'm an artist, and you might be wondering what a tulipscape is. That is this. It's a landscape with tulips, and if you're anywhere near any kind of a tulip festival where farms grow tulips, go. If you haven't yet, they're just gorgeous. And there are some that have just fields like this, and then there are others that have display gardens. And, usually they're attached to the fields, but they have the display gardens to kind of show you up close, label all the kinds and everything on the ends of the rows, etc. And this is the Rosengard farm at Skagit Valley, north of me. And this year I took pictures. The video clips were from a previous year, but I just took pictures this year, just so crowded with people. And I sat in the display garden and painted a number of different things the day that I went. Just a lovely day. If you're interested in what I take with my gouache kit, I'll link all that down in the doobly-doo down below. But I painted individual flowers, groups of flowers, whole garden areas. And this one I actually sold right off my easel, which was kind of exciting to find somebody who just said, I don't even see that finished and I want it. So I didn't get a picture of the finished one. This is part way through. And I've been painting more tulips, and I've learned a few things that I thought I wanted to repaint this. And that's what I'll be doing today. So let's get going. I'm going to be painting this on black watercolor paper. And the reason is because I want to use it up, and I don't find the black watercolor paper to be really helpful with a lot of the kinds of watercolor things that I paint. So gouache seemed like a good thing. Gouache is an opaque watercolor. It's like acrylic, but the paint will actually re-wet underneath of whatever you're painting. So you can get some interesting effects with it that I'll be using this black paper to achieve. So first was the saturated, really light mountains. Your sky is always going to be your lightest, except for your white flowers. And then the mountains in the distance are desaturated. So I've mixed a brown with a blue in order to get that, and then popped in a little bit of blue in order to add a little interest into the mountains. But I painted them with thinner paint, so I get some of that black paper showing through. For the clouds, I'm going to keep them low at the horizon instead of piled up high, because I think the plain sky tends to set off the tulips better rather than making the sky something epic. For the darker shadow color in the clouds, I mixed it with some of the mountain color so I could soften some of those edges, that sort of thing, and use a wetter brush so that it starts to just kind of meld in with everything that's there. I love clouds because there's just so much freedom to just kind of goof around and make brush marks with them. To set the distance, I'm going to put some of the tulip fields out in the far distance. And I'm going to start by putting in a little bit of green. There's a tree line out there at this particular location that I paint at every year. And then a couple rows of reds, oranges, yellows, nice and bright. They stick out like a sore thumb here on this black paper, which is great. And then I'm going to put some green in between. And I'm going to put some thicker green and then a more olive green down below it, because what I want to do is have this be a setting for the rest of the tulips that'll be in front of it. This is just going to be that whole distance in between us and those tulip fields that are back there. So then we get to the Happy Bob Ross tree, which everybody walking by loved my tree more than my tulips, which was kind of funny. But with gouache, you go from dark to light and back to front. So I'm going to start with the darkest colors, and I started with a nice big brush to fill in those areas, leaving some open holes for the birds to fly through, and then start to fill in with a smaller brush and make some of those edges lacy. I started mixing a more olive kind of color that was more of the color of the tree. This dark green color is not the color that I saw in front of me, so I mixed something with yellow and white in it to start adding those lights to it. And you can just kind of watch it light up as you add lighter and lighter values, and sometimes you have to go back in and add a little bit of dark in there. So I did some of that. I added in some of the sky blue color so that I could actually start to make more of those openings and make it more of a lacy tree rather than letting it get so solid, which I love about gouache because you can always do little things like that to repair something. So finally we get to the midground tulips. And the way I've discovered that I like to work is to block in something first. I'm not doing pencil sketches here or anything. I'm just kind of going for it. And if I put in some color like this for this mid-ground portion of the garden, I can actually create the red area that's out in the sunshine, and the purplish area is underneath of that tree. It's my way of kind of sketching it in. And then my brightest colors, I want to start painting on the outside of that shadow area, and the inside I want to be a little bit darker colors so there's an indicated shadow under that tree. And all of these are just blobs of paint. I'm not doing anything really exciting with them, just blobs, mixing in all the different colors that I saw in that tulip bed. Just madness in terms of all the different colors they put in that one bed together. And then I decided I should probably underpaint the grass and have that sort of as, again, a sketch, and not really worrying about trying to make anything perfect. I just kind of put some color in there and let it be loose and washy because I was going to go in and add detail later. Next, I'm going to block in some of the foreground tulips just because I don't want to have paint underneath of them that I'm going to have to wrestle with. Because if I painted the green underneath all of this, then I'd be wrestling green underneath of the yellow and underneath of the red and the purple, and it just seemed like it would be easier to work around it. So I'm putting the dark bed color of the leaf area in between all of those, and then underneath of all the tulips in the rest of the bed. And then I'll be able to add leaves on top of them and a little bit of detail. I'll also bring some of those flowers down over top of the green and, add more to them. And that will make all of it work together. Sometimes I'll just go and block in the entire background first and then add the flowers, but adding the flowers just on the black paper was tough enough, so I decided I wasn't going to worry too much about blocking in everything, just some of the bigger sections like the greens. So back to the tulips. As we get to the midground, the tulips are getting bigger because of perspective. So I'm going to make these larger tulips and start adding in a range of values. Lighter on the right-hand side where the sun is, and darker on the left-hand side. And that's done by mixing in, different colors with what I've already got going. A lot of what I'm using here is colors straight out of my palette without a lot of mixing, except for mixing for value. There's a few colors that I do mix on my own that I don't have in my palette. I use all Daniel Smith gouache colors. I find that they last in my airtight palette really well. So I can recommend those for sure. Now I'm going to add a few interrupting leaves. And I realized I should have done this a little sooner because now I have to paint around some of the flowers that I finished, like that purple one, the red one back there, because painting around something is just much harder than just painting over it and then painting the flower on top of the greens. But I wanted to have a few of those leaves peeking out. In a tulip bed, the tulips are higher than the leaves in general. You're not going to see a whole lot of green until you get close to the tulips, and then you're able to see larger gaps in between the flowers. As you look out across a bed, you get more dense tulip color and less of the green, except for in this foreground area right at the base of them, where I'm painting in some very soft leaves and stems. Next, it's time to wrestle the close-up tulips. Now, this is my hardest part with gouache, is trying to mix something and blend something when the colors go from this like screaming bright yellow to a super deep red at the top. And I was trying to create some orange in between, which was not all that successful because then I still had to put in the dark red because this particular type of tulip had so much red up there. So I was trying really hard to get the bottom to kind of meld into a darker yellow, lighter orange kind of color. But then as soon as I hit the reds, I would just have to repaint this. So you'll see this and the other multicolor tulip down below it painted repeatedly for the rest of this. I haven't figured out any tricks for that as of yet. If anybody else has any tips, please do let me know. I know it has a lot to do with the amount of water in my paint mixes, but trying to go from a yellow to a red without really an orange in between, because in that tulip, there's not really much of any transition. It just goes from one to the other. And I was trying to keep this on the loose side because I didn't want to get, like hyper realistic with it, because I wanted that expressive feel. So I just kept working at it and working at it and working at it. So maybe this will just help you to feel more normal if you struggle with trying to get colors to blend as well. So next I'm going to indicate some grasses. And this was something that I worked with when I was out there in the garden painting, trying to figure out how to indicate these grasses without spending a fortune of time on them. So I put in some light color at the edge, just at the tips, and then used my brush with some darker paint on it and used the brush a little drier and started pulling color down over it and then pulling that light color down into the grass more and just kind of messing around with it. I'm even using my finger to move some color around. I don't want to paint every blade of grass in there. Like, that's the last thing you want to do. It's going to draw too much attention to the grass. And I want the grasses to just be there to indicate that there's something going on in that wide open area next to the tulip bed. So I'm using a couple of different greens, including that base green that I had used. When you're doing something like this, it helps to use a color straight out of the tube as the one you're going to mix into, because then you don't have to recreate that color or that value. So if you don't have a color that's the exact green you're going to use, you're going to have to mix enough of it to make all this work. But I just kept using a dry brush to pull all that color around to get that soft look. I wish I could figure out how to do that with the tulips, because they just took much more time. So here I was touching the side of the tulip again and had to go back in and fix it. I don't know why I touched it. It looked fine. But I did put some of the little bits inside the tulip so that one of them would have that much detail. And then the other tulips up front have a little bit more in terms of nice highlights on the edges of them, that sort of thing. And then I decided I needed one more tulip in the front. I didn't have very many white tulips throughout all of this, and I wanted this one to kind of indicate that there's more tulips between you and this group. Like, the bed continues and you're just kind of looking out over it. And I ended up trying to use the paint in a thinner fashion so that I actually would pull up some of the green into the flower. A lot of these white flowers, you'll get a bit of green in them. And I also pulled in a little of the blue from the mountain mixed with some white so that I could put some shadow color in there. Any repairs needed? Good time to check for that. I had a drop of water on my sky and was just kind of horrified for a moment until I realized I could just put a cloud in there. Be a little Bob Ross. Go put a cloud in it. It's fine. So take the tape off and it's all done. There are some more tulip paintings on my blog if you'd like to see more. And there's also a whole bunch of them for sale on my fine art website, so you can check those out. Links in the doobly-doo for all of that. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do, because I put out videos on the regular and you might want to see what is coming up next. I use all different kinds of mediums, and there's also an open studio coming up in just a couple of weeks. If you'd like to join for that, it's a free Zoom call. Would love to have you there. And yeah, I guess that's about it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you again very soon. In the meantime, get out there and create something every day. Bye-bye.